Colorado High School Activities Association baseball is on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. From Greeley, Colorado, the Brush Beet Diggers face the University Bulldogs. Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Fergus. Rose Condis will be on the soundboard and engineer for the game. Starting lineups for the teams today: Morgan Community College. Start your associate degree, continue your education, or get a specialized certificate. Visit morgancc.edu.com. For the Brush Beet Diggers, we'll run through their lineup. Landon Mesh will lead off and hit first, play second base. Ben Metlin will be the shortstop and hit second. Percy Odell will be on the hill and pitch for the Beet Diggers. Hitting third, Trey Romero is the cleanup hitter at first base. Dylan Krob will be in right field, hitting fifth. Keaton Gillick will be the third baseman and hitting sixth. Malachi Teal will be in center field and hit seventh. River Hodgson will be in left field and hit eighth. Eli Klein will be behind the plate for the Beet Diggers today and hit ninth. For your Brush Beet Diggers, they are 7-4 on the season. They come into this game with a 3-1 league record, and they've got a one-game winning streak as they beat Sterling on Saturday 8-1. And they face University today. University is 10-3, 2-1 in league. We'll go through University's defensively. Isaac Dellinger in left, Will Corby in center, Evan Davey Anderson will be in right, Preston Natividad will be at third base, Joel Ramirez at shortstop, Caden Turk at second base, and the first pitch of the game is hit out to center field, and that's over the center fielder, Will Kirby's head. Landon Mesh rounds first, and on his way to second, and holds up with a stand-up double. 74 degrees, game time temperature. Bailey Mechanical, when your temperature is not quite right, call your local Lennox dealer, Bailey Mechanical, 970-522-0471. Landon Mesh did that the other day, and first pitch, and hit the ball a ton, and he did the same thing here because I think he knows the pitcher's going to throw a strike. Ben Metlin comes to the plate with a runner at second, top of the first inning. The offering, and that pitch is upstairs to Ben Metlin. Gage Viken is the pitcher for University. I'll run through his numbers shortly. Caden Turk at second, Medardo Abrego at first base. And the pitch is low and in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes to Ben Metlin. Gage Viken on the hill, junior, and Max Davis, sophomore, behind the plate. Gage Viken, 1.91 ERA, 1-1 record, 14 2/3 innings. The pitch, and that pitch right down Broadway, strike one. In those 14 2/3 innings, 9 base on balls, 18 strikeouts. Landon Mesh with a leadoff double against Gage Viken and the University Bulldogs. The 2-1 pitch, and that ball hit out to center field to Will Corby. Hardly has to move. Ball carried, tagged up, and on to third. Landon Mesh goes, and safe at third. Sacrifice fly for Ben Metlin.
Tagging up from second base is Mesh. He's safe at third. 1 out.
So Mesh on at third. Percy Odell at the plate.
Number 2, Percy Odell.
Landon Mesh, as he led off with that double. That's his 18th hit. He was hitting .425 coming into the game with 11 RBIs. And Percy Odell at .457, 16 hits, 6 RBIs. Good RBI opportunity for Percy here in the top of the first inning. And also it's hit 3 doubles. And that ball fouled towards the third base dugout by Percy Odell. The one thing with University that I just observed, their team ERA, 2.23. So Gage Viken on the hill, the pitch, Percy, ball, 1 strike. Runner at third, 1 out for the Beet Diggers here on the top of the first inning. You're listening to Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. I'm Kevin Fergus. The pitch, and that ball inside to Percy Odell, 2 balls and a strike. University's record 10-3 on the season, 2-1 league. Oh, Casey Miller asked if the home plate umpire would check, and so we take the check swing back, and that makes it 1 ball, 2 strikes, and then the next pitch from Gage Viken is ball 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Percy here at the plate. No score here, top of the first inning. The pitch from Viken. Outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. I hesitated. That pitch was close. It was probably right down the chalk line. Umpire checks everything, and he says it is 2-2. Hold on. He's now Coach Tom Odell coming to the umpire. He's going to check and just make sure. I've got 3-2 is what I've got because we switched it up. The third pitch of the at-bat was a strike, not a ball, so that was 1-2, and then we've had 2 pitches since then. So it should be full count. But I'm not the one that has a clicker in my hand standing behind home plate. The pitch from Viken, and that pitch is strike 3. Wow. That pitch looked inside. Percy was taking that because it almost hit him, but strike 3, strikeout looking.
Now batting for Brush, first base, number 10, Trey Romero.
Trey Romero to the plate for the Beet Diggers. Hits from the left side. And Gage Viken pitches from the left side. Pitch from Viken. Strike on the inside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike. They've got the barbecue going, and boy, does it smell good. Pitch, and that ball fouled towards the first base dugout, the Beet Digger dugout. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Beet Diggers in their road uniforms, gray pants with the gold top, maroon lettering, and numbers. University in their white pinstripes, white uniforms with the blue pinstripes, blue hats. University written across their front. And that pitch, strike 3. So strikeout looking, 2 strikeouts for Viken. After a leadoff double by Landon Mesh and moved up to third base on a sacrifice fly. Brush no runs, 1 hit. There were no errors, 1 runner left on base after a half inning of play. Brush 0, University will be coming to the plate. You're listening to Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush had a hit in the top of the first inning, but couldn't capitalize, get that runner around after they had 2 strikeouts. University comes to the plate here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the defense for Brush. River Hodson in left, Malachi Teal in center, Dylan Krob in right, Keaton Jillick at third, Ben Metlin at shortstop, Landon Mesh at second base, Trey Romero at first, Eli Klein behind the plate. And on the hill for the Beet Diggers is Percy Odell. Percy's numbers, 0.72 ERA in 9 2/3 innings, 5 base on balls, and 16 strikeouts on the season. For University here in the bottom of the first inning.
First batter of the ball game for University. Second base, number 9.
Caden Turk is at the plate. Brody Duran hits second. Will Corby hits third. Preston Natividad hits fourth. Max Davis hits fifth. Medardo Abrego hits sixth. Gage Viken hits seventh. That pitch, a strike at the knees. Gage Viken seventh. Joel Ramirez hits eighth. And Isaac Dellinger hits ninth. And their right fielder is being DH'd for Evan Davey Anderson. The 0-1 pitch, strike 2. Percy, 2 pitches, 2 strikes to start the game. Caden Turk, 342 on the season. Pitch, strike 3. Nope. Thought the umpire would call that. Looked like he likes to ring him up as he did twice in the top of the first inning. That pitch, a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Odell gets a sign from Klein. The pitch, just outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Overcast sky. Some alto cumulus clouds. Blue sky here and there. The 2-2 pitch. In the dirt. Full count to Caden Turk. Senior leadoff hitter. Turk, 13 hits on the season. 9 base on balls he's drawn so far in University's 13 games. The full count, the payoff pitch. And that ball hit out towards right field, base hit, just over Landon Mesh's glove. Looked like the runner missed first base and on his way to second. I don't think he touched first base as that ball got underneath Dylan Krob's glove in right field. So we have a single to right field. And we'll see if Brush appeals. Of course, I'm not here on the field in order to be able to tell them to do that. But and then second on the throw. Brush is not going to appeal. So to the plate, Brody Duran. Runner at second. Leadoff runner. Pitch to Duran, a ball. Brody Duran, 379 on the season, 11 hits, 13 RBIs, 9 base on balls, and he leads the team in hit by pitches with 4. Something you don't want to be proud of, but yet that's part of the whole process of getting on base. So the 1-0 pitch, and that ball swung at and missed by Duran, freshman, designated hitter for the University Bulldogs. Just depends on which poll you end up looking at, RPI or the seeding index. I think the one I looked at, University is number 4, and Brush was number 6, and I think that's on the seeding index. That ball's fouled out of play down the right field line. We're still early. We've got another month. Well, we're going to call catcher's interference, and so the batter, Duran, goes to first base.
Number 0, Will Corby.
So we'll get Duran to second, Turk at second, Duran at first. Will Corby comes to the plate. Corby hitting .235 on the season, number 3 hitter. Pitch, and that ball bunted down third base line, fielded by Gillick in foul ground, strike 1. Corby, 10 hits, 9 RBIs, and he also has 4 hit by pitches. Oh, I see Gage Viken also has 6, so I misspoke in saying Brody Duran led the team with 4, because Will Corby has 4, but Gage Viken has 6. So strike 1 on the foul ball by the left-handed hitting Will Corby. Center fielder wears number 0 on his back. Natividad is on deck. Odell, the sign from Eli Klein. The offering from Odell to the plate. And that ball fouled up and out of play. Odell ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes to the number 3 hitter, Will Corby. Nobody out for University. No score in the game. Brush, leadoff hitter, hit a double and moved to third on a sacrifice fly, but was stranded. Caden Turk, line drive base hit, and then moved up to second, but then a catcher's interference put Brody Duran at the first base. Pitch to Corby. One ball, 2 strikes to Will Corby. So runners at first and second for the University Bulldogs. Nobody out. And Corby calls time at the plate. Umpire grants it. One ball, 2 strikes. Runners at first and second. The pitch from Odell on its way. And that ball fouled, and that is going to sneak out of play about 15 feet between the third base dugout of the University Bulldogs and the stands. There's an empty area where there's grass growing and on a slope of a hill. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Odell getting a good look. Overcast sky at this point. Pitch. And that ball hit right up the middle and got an interference from Jillick at third as Caden Turk comes around third. But he scores. And the base hit by Corby. Single hard grounder right up the middle. So runners at first and third. I just happened to look up, and Keaton Jillick was standing right in the baseline when Caden Turk rounded third. And Casey Miller, he was right there, and he was all over it. The umpire didn't see it, but nonetheless, Caden Turk scored. So University leads Brush 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. Will Corby, 3.5-step lead at first. Runner at third, Brody Duran. Preston Natividad at the plate, and that ball caught by Odell. Odell over to first for the double play as Corby was off with the hit. So nice play by the pitcher to get 2 outs.
Runner remains on third. Coming up to bat, catcher number 1, Max Davis.
So the runner at third is safe, and the runner at first is forced out. So 2 outs in the inning. University with a 1-0 lead. Max Davis to the plate. Odell ended up busting that in on Natividad's fists, and he didn't have much steam on that ball when he hit it out to Odell. Odell made a nice play of being able to corral it. First pitch to Max Davis, the catcher, the sophomore catcher. Hits from the left side, outside, ball 1. The pitch is on the way. Strike. Umpire took a look, had to process it. 1 ball, 1 strike. University with a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. 2 outs. Brody Duran leads off at third base. Pitch from Odell. Outside. 2 balls and a strike. Medardo Abrego in the on-deck circle. Had a home run and a double, 2 RBI double against Fort Morgan the other day. And that ball fouled at the plate and into Eli Klein's glove. Count evens at 2. Odell that picks up the sign, the 2-2 pitch, the offering. And that ball all the way to the screen, and Duran's going to come in and score the second run for University. On the wild pitch, full count to Max Davis, but he'll get the RBI.
Full count for Davis.
And home on the wild pitch. 2-0, University over the Brush Bee Diggers. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the first. Pitch, took a little bit off. That ball hit out to right center field. And Teal over just in front of the 375 sign, hauls it in for the 3rd out. So for University, 2 runs, 2 hits, no Bee Digger error. And there was no runners left on base. After one complete inning of play, University 2, Brush 0. You're listening to Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The alto cumulus clouds are moving away, kind of, and becoming more of a high deck of cloud cover. The wind is out of the west-northwest, 74 degrees, game time temperature. University scores 2 in their bottom half of the first inning. One run was knocked in by Will Corby, and the other run was wild pitched in with Preston Natividad at the plate. No, Max Davis was at the plate, so he gets the RBI. So University 2 and Brush 0. Coach Odell's talking to the umpire as Gage Viken finishes up his warm-up tosses. Dylan Krob will lead off here in the top of the second inning for the Beat Diggers.
Top of the second inning.
Throw down by Max Davis.
For Brush. Right fielder number 8, Dylan Krob.
Dylan Krob steps in for the Beat Diggers. 74 degrees still, even though the clouds have thickened up somewhat. The pitch from Viken, outside, ball 1. Viken, 2 strikeouts in the first inning. Ball fouled at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike to number 8, Dylan Krob. Gage Viken, the sign, the pitch, outside. 2 balls and a strike. Dylan Krob standing in, digging in at the plate. Pitch, low and in. 3 balls and a strike to Dylan Krob. Sounds like we have some weather moving in later this weekend. And that pitch outside, ball 4. Dylan Krob down to first base.
Ball 4 to Krob. He'll take his place at first.
That's Viken's first base on ball. Keaton Gillick comes to the plate, number 12, for the Beat Diggers here in the top of the second. Brush had a leadoff runner in the first inning, leadoff runner in the second inning. Watch their pickoff moves. Pitch, strike at the knees to Keaton Gillick. As I watched the game the other night, Will Corby, left-handed pitcher, was on the hill, and he picked off 2. No, make it 3. And there's a pickoff, and Krob is caught in a pickle. First base to shortstop, and then the tag out. So, pitch was a ball to Gillick, but we've got the out at first. As picked off. 2, 6. Okay. So 1 out in the inning. Pitch to Gillick, and that ball swung at and missed. And I missed the pitch that was in between as I was catching up on the pickle play that just took place. But Gillick swings and strikes out for out number 2. So nobody on for the Beat Diggers. Top of the second inning, 2 outs. Malachi Teal stands in, the sophomore center fielder. That pitch is outside to number 3, Malachi Teal. Teal, contact hitter. Pitch down the middle, belt high, strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Teal. Pitcher, the sign, the pitch. Outside. 2 balls and a strike. Gage Viken, the sign from Max Davis, the pitch. Swung at and missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Teal. 2 outs here in the top of the 2nd inning. University with a 2-0 lead over the Brush Beet Diggers. The pitch. Strike 3, out. So Viken 4 strikeouts through 2 innings. So Brush, no runs, 1 hit. No runs, no hits, no errors for University, and no runners left on base. So after 1.5 innings of play, University 2, Brush 0. You're listening to Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Nice day for baseball. Greeley, Colorado, University High School. University's the host for this game, facing the Brush Beet Diggers. Longtime Patriot League rivals. Brush Beet Diggers 3-1 in league coming into the game. University 2-1. Beautiful day in Greeley, Colorado. The sun might be behind the clouds, but beautiful nonetheless. Medardo Abrego, number 33, stands in against Percy Odell. Eli Klein moves to the outside corner of the plate. Pitch from Odell. Strike 1. Percy doing what he needs to. 22 pitches, 14 strikes. The 0-1 pitch, curveball, a little bit high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gage Viken, the pitcher, in the on-deck circle. Odell, the offering. Outside, 2 balls and a strike to Abrego. Two balls, 1 strike, the pitch, and that ball hit out to center field. Got underneath it. Teal should have lots of room. 405 straightaway center field. Teal catches that in front of the 405 sign, maybe about 20 feet in front of that. So the out, number 1, Gage Viken comes to the plate. Abrego was hitting 306. And Gage Viken hitting 316, 12 hits on the season, 8 RBIs. He's the one that has 6 hit by pitches. That pitch to Viken, a ball outside. Viken wears number 2. Pitch from Odell to Viken, the pitch outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Two balls, no strikes. The offering, and that ball fouled down third base line, out of play. 2 balls and a strike. Brush playing defense straight up. Straight away, left, center, and right. Pitch from Odell. Swung at and missed. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I guess Teal in center field is shaded just a little bit towards right center field. Odell, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The offering, and that ball, 1 hopper out to Odell. Takes 2 steps and over to Trey Romero. 1-3 on the put out.
Percy Odell, pitcher, throw over to first base, out number 2.
Joel Ramirez to the plate. Joel Ramirez hitting 162, but Joel Ramirez Jr., he's playing because of his glove. If they get any offense out of him, they're happy. I bet I could ask Casey Miller that question. He would tell me that straight up. That pitch, up and out of the zone. 1 ball, no strikes to Joel Ramirez. Number 8 hitter in the lineup. Isaac Dellinger, left fielder, is in the on-deck circle. Pitch from Percy. Strike on the outside corner at the knees. Count evens at 1. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. University 2-0 lead over the Brush Beet Diggers. Percy gets a sign from Eli Klein. The pitch, strike 2. Outside corner, belt high. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Joel Ramirez. University with a 12-2 win over the Fort Morgan Mustangs on Monday in Fort Morgan at Eddie Underwood Legion Field. Pitch from Odell, the 1-2. Just outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fort Morgan down the road today. They're playing at Valley and Gilcrest. Chris Brahm has that game on KPMX. I'm sorry, not KPMX. On B106. And that ball fouled at the plate. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Klein flashes the sign, the 2-2 curveball, and that ball hit out towards Jillick over to first base, Trey Romero. 5-3 on the putout. So for Brush, 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no Brush errors, nobody left on base after 2 complete innings of play. University 2, Brush 0. You're listening to Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. River Hodson will come to the plate for the Beet Diggers here on the top of the 3rd inning. Face the left-handed pitching Gage Viken, who has 4 strikeouts through 2 innings. Viken came into the game with, what did I say, a 1.91 ERA in his 14 2/3 innings. And at this point would only go down. 2 innings pitched, 16 2/3 now. 10 base on balls and 22 strikeouts for Gage Viken. Hodson to the plate, the left fielder. The offering, swung at and missed, strike 1. Viken, nothing exciting out there. 30 pitches, 17 strikes, 13 balls. Not the ratio that you'd like to see. That ball fouled out into the parking lot, and amazingly enough, it did not hit a car. Hodson down on the count, no balls, 2 strikes. And pitch is outside, ball 1. The wind shifted around a little bit from the northwest. The pitch from Viken, swung at and missed, strike 3. 1 out for the Beet Diggers here on the top of the 3rd inning. Eli Klein to the plate for the Diggers.
Now batting for Brush, catcher number 26, Eli Klein.
Pitch from Viken, off-speed pitch, and Klein offers at it, swings through the pitch, strike 1. Viken, the sign from Max Davis, and Klein says, "You're taking too long. I'm going to ask for time, step out." So reset, the offering from Viken, strike at the knees, outside corner. Klein down on the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Landon Mesh with Brush's lone hit is in the on-deck circle. The pitch from Viken, swung at and missed, strike 3. Strikeout swinging. So 2 more strikeouts in the 3rd inning for Gage Viken. Landon Mesh steps in. leadoff double over Will Corby's head in center field, and that ball hit out to center, just hit it right past the pitcher and past the second baseman for the second hit of the game, a single on the ground ball up the middle. Ben Metlin had the sacrifice fly to move Metlin from second to third in the first inning, and then Metlin was stranded as 2 strikeouts ensued. And a pick off over to first. You got to watch these left-handers for University. 3 pickoffs the other night against Fort Morgan, and they've already had 1 here today. Dylan Krob was on first and was picked off. The pitch to the plate. Strike to Ben Metlin. From the stretch, Gage Viken, and pick off over to first as he stepped off the back of the rubber and over to Medardo Abrego. Mesh all over it, back on the bag safely. 0-1 to the plate, the pitch in the dirt, and it gets past Max Davis, and Mesh up to second base on the pass ball through the 5-hole on Max Davis. So Mesh on at second. At least that takes away the main threat of a left-hander picking off at first base. 2 outs in the inning. Ben Metlin at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike, and swings through that pitch. Swings through that pitch. Strike 2. We've got some English teachers sitting next to me. Swang. The 1-2 pitch, and that ball towards third base. Preston Natividad and Landon Mesh got caught out to dry as he was waiting for Natividad to throw over to first base, but Natividad said, "Hey, you've come too far," puts a tag on Mesh. So Mesh on the fielder's choice, out for Brush. No runs, 1 hit, 1 runner left on base after 2.5 innings of play. University 2, Brush 0. You're listening to Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. To the bottom of the 3rd inning we go. Brush Beat Diggers trail the University Bulldogs 2-0. Isaac Dellinger, the left fielder, the number 9 hitter in the lineup for the Bulldogs, comes to the plate. Dellinger, the senior, 314 on the season, 11 hits. And that pitch is outside to Isaac Dellinger. Two runs in the top of the 1st inning for the University Bulldogs to have the lead. Swings through that pitch, Dellinger does. Count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike. University 2 runs on 2 hits. Brush no runs on 2 hits. And that pitch, a strike on the outside corner. Odell ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. University put their hits kind of back to back, and Brush's has been spread out. Well, actually, top of the order, Landon Mesh had leadoff double, and then Landon Mesh had a single this last inning for Brush's 2 hits. So 9 batters apart from one another. Time at the plate. Dellinger steps out. Odell ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. Curveball. Ball hit out to right field. And Dylan Krob back on the warning track. Dellinger around first to second, headed to third. Missed the cutoff. And he is safe at third with a triple.
Isaac Dellinger.
Dellinger with a triple to right field.
Back at the top of the lineup for University.
Caden Turk,
Second base number 9.
who led off the game with a single, steps in. Keaton Gillick to the mound. Eli Klein to the mound. Percy Odell. The 3 of them got together, just talked briefly. Gillick back to third base. Dellinger leads off at third. Caden Turk At the plate, the senior second baseman, Percy Odell, the pitch. Inside, ball one. University threatening here in the bottom of the third inning. The 1-0 pitch, outside, ball two. Two balls, no strikes. Odell, the sign from Klein, the battery mate, and the pitch is on its way, and that ball fouled out of play. 2 balls and a strike to Caden Turk. 1 for 1 on the day as he led off the game with a single and then came around and scored. Pitch is upstairs. 3 balls and a strike. Turk scored on the Corby hit. (3-1) the pitch. Balls fell back into the screen. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch from Percy to the plate. And that ball lined out to left field. Dellinger comes in and scores. And Turk, 2 for 2 on the day with a single to left.
Second batter in the lineup, designated hitter number 26, Brody Duran.
Brody Duran on the catcher's interference. And then scored. On the Will Corby hit, he moved from first to third, and then on a wild pitch, he came in and scored University's second run. So from the stretch, Brody Duran at the plate, Percy Odell the pitch, swung at and missed, strike 1. Caden Turk leads off, 13 games on the season, 22 stolen bases for University. And I don't really have any one of the University players with a multiplied number of stolen bases. Pitch, a strike, outside corner. Letter high. No balls, 2 strikes to Brody Duran, the freshman designated hitter for the University Bulldogs. So Caden Turk, no outs, and leads off at first. 1 run is in here in the bottom of the third inning. Odell with the pitch, and off with the pitch is the runner. Caden Turk has second base stolen. The pitch, a ball to Brody Duran. So runner in scoring position for the 10-3 University Bulldogs with a 3-0 lead. Bottom of the third inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Odell peers in, gets a sign from Klein. Turk leads off at second. Duran at the plate. The pitch. Strike 3. First strikeout by Percy Odell. Pitch, strikeout looking. It was on the inside part of the plate at the knees. 1 out in the inning. Will Corby to the plate, the center fielder. Came into the game with 9 RBIs and 10 hits. Now he has 11 hits and 10 RBIs. He was hit by pitch twice on Monday against Fort Morgan. 1 out. Turk leads off at second. Corby at the plate. Odell with the pitch. On its way. And that ball hit out to left center field. That's going to score a run as Casey Miller waves him in. Corby around first with a stand-up double.
Stand-up double.
So RBI number 11 for Will Corby. 2 runs in the bottom of the first, 2 runs in the bottom of the third.
Cleanup hitter at third base, number 11, Preston Natividad.
Preston Natividad lined out to Odell, the pitcher, who doubled up Corby in the first inning. That helped brush out, the double play did. Corby leads off at second. Natividad, the third baseman, at the plate. Pitch from Odell. High. Ball 1. Natividad, 361 on the season. 13 hits, 14 RBIs. Good eye at the plate. 8 base on balls from Preston Natividad. Pitch from Odell. As Corby leads off at second. The pitch. Strike at the knees, inside corner of the plate. Count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike. University with a 4-0 lead, bottom of the third inning, over your Brush Beet Diggers. Pitch to the plate, strike 3. That's Odell's second strikeout. Oh, I'm sorry, not a strikeout. That was strike number 2. I'm getting ahead of myself. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Natividad. Corby with the lead at second. The pitch, strike 3. There's a strikeout. That pitch, bat was still on Natividad's shoulder. So that's the second strikeout by Percy Odell. Max Davis comes to the plate, hitting 300. He'll hit from the left side. Davis flew out. His first at bat. 6 RBIs on the season, but good eye at the plate. 13 games and 9 base on balls. So about 1 per game. Davis from the left side, and that ball fouled up and over the screen. Strike 1. Corby leads off at second. Casey Miller gives the signs to Corby as well as to Max Davis. 2 outs in the inning. 2 runs in for the University Bulldogs. And that ball swung at and missed. Odell ahead in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Davis, number 1 on his back, sophomore for these Bulldogs. The 0-2 pitch, and you got a time at the plate as Davis steps out. I was telling Rose back at the station that, you know, this game is just kind of slow and mechanical today. The pitch swung at and missed. Odell strikes out the side, 1-2-3. Corby is left on base, so University 2 runs, 2 hits, and 1 runner left on base, no brush errors. 3 strikeouts in that inning by Percy Odell. So aside from the 2 runs, 3 strikeouts. Nice job by Percy. University 4, Brush 0. You're listening to Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. We go to the top half, 4th inning. Brush Beet Diggers coming to the plate, trailing the University Bulldogs 4-0. Percy Odell will lead off for the Beet Diggers. Gage Viken on the hill for the University Bulldogs, and his 3 innings worked, 6 strikeouts, 1 base on ball at this point. Percy Odell came into the game hitting .457.
Now batting for the Beet Diggers,
Gage Viken, the sign from catcher Max Davis. The pitch, strike on the outside corner. Strike one. University with 2 runs in the bottom of the first, 2 runs in the bottom of the third for their 4-0 lead. And that ball hit out to short center field. Corby coming in, and he broke back, but was able to make up for it. Comes in, and catches the pop fly in short center field. Trey Romero steps in.
Next batter for Brush, first base, number 10, Trey Romero.
Trey hits from the left side. Trey hitting .321 on the season. 10 base on balls, and now he's hit by pitch, so he'll trot down to first base.
By Viken. He'll take his place at first.
And it's like Viken just said to Davis, hey, watch this. You know, I say that just because lefties have deceptive moves to first base to begin with, and then you have somebody that actually teaches these guys how to be able to keep their head at the plate and keep that runner at the bag, and or however they do it. It's just weird, and they can mess up a team, a running team, very easily. Number 11 is at the plate for the Beet Diggers, Caleb Jimenez. And Caleb hits the ball down past the third baseman, Natividad, for the single. So Jimenez in for Dylan Krob.
There's a base hit by Jimenez.
Single down the
1 out.
left field line.
Second.
And Trey Romero.
Third base, number 12, Keaton Gillick.
Trey Romero up to second base. So Caleb Jimenez at first. Keaton Gillick at the plate. Runners at first and second. 1 out, and that ball fouled, and that's got to hit a car. That did hit a car. Foul, strike 1. Keaton Gillick, open stance, the pitch. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Brush with 3 hits in the game. 2 by Landon Mesh, 1 by Caleb Jimenez. The ball to the plate, and that pitch is out of the zone. 2 balls and a strike to Keaton Gillick. Brush with 1 out here on the top of the 4th. Threatening, as you've got a runner at second, runner in scoring position. Jimenez at first, Romero at second. The offering to the plate, and that ball swung at by Gillick. Strike 2, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gillick swinging the bat, and the 2-2, and that ball popped up mile high. Infield fly rule in effect. Batter is out. And Preston Natividad comes over and catches it, but the umpire called it, and so runners out by rule, infield fly rule, when any time less than 2 outs, runners at first, second, and third, and batter is out. And in this case, runners at first and second, so infield fly rule, out, third base, and runners at first and second, and Teal hits a base hit into right field. Romero comes in and scores for the Brush's first run, and Gage Viken gets taken out by the umpire, and he's laid out here at the plate as he's coming in to back up, and the umpire was positioning himself in order to be able to call at the plate, and Gage Viken ends up getting taken out by the umpire. You don't see that happen. Nice hit by Malachi Teal as he hits that ball into right field for the base hit and RBI. And now Brush and Jimenez moved up to third base. So Teal on at first. So runners at first and third. Oh, Teal moved up to second base.
Fielder number 5, River Hudson.
So River Hudson comes to the plate. Brush with a run on 4 hits. Top of the 4th inning against the University Bulldogs. Hodgson at the plate. Viken okay. He's back out on the hill. I think it surprised him more than anything. The pitch to Hodgson, swung at and missed, strike 1. Boy, it'd be great if River would come through with a base hit right here. Hodgson with 6 RBIs on the season. If he could get a base hit here, he'd have RBIs number 7 and 8. And that ball hit out to left field. And the left fielder is back, Dellinger, and hauls it in for the out. But Brush, 1 run on 2 hits. They leave 2 runners on base, no errors for University. So after 3.5 innings, University 4, Brush 1. You're listening to Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR in the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush Beat Diggers score a run in the top of the 4th inning to close the gap. University with a 4-1 lead over the Beat Diggers. Medardo Abrego steps in for the Bulldogs here in the bottom of the 4th inning to the plate. Pitch from Percy Odell. A strike at the knees. Brush showed some life there in the top of the 4th inning. They had the 2 hits and RBI from Malachi Teal. Pitch is in the dirt to Medardo Abrego. Abrego hitting .306, 11 hits, and 8 RBIs. Good eye at the plate, 8 base on balls. Pitch, strike at the outside corner, belt high. Odell ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch from Odell, low and away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Percy is right around the plate. Brush has scored 1 run on 4 hits. University has scored 4 runs on 5 hits. Odell 62 pitches, 40 strikes, and that ball popped up mile high. It's going to be in playable territory in foul ground. Odell over and makes the out in foul ground on the pop out by Abrego. 1 out in the inning. Gage Viken to the plate.
Now batting the University pitcher number 2, Gage Viken.
Viken hitting .316, 12 hits on the season. 6 pitches, 8 RBIs for Viken. Odell, the sign from Klein. The offering, and that ball's all the way to the screen. Ball 1. Wind not strong, but now it's out of the north-northeast. Started out, it was out of the west-northwest, and it's just slowly moved around, and now it's out of the north-northeast. Pitch fouled off by Gage Viken. Pitcher for the Bulldogs today. Odell gets a sign from Klein. Swung at and missed. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Temperature 73 degrees. Bailey Mechanical. When your temperature's not quite right, call your local Lennox dealer, Bailey Mechanical, 970-522-0471. That pitch outside. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 from Odell to the plate. And that pitch is low and inside. Full count. The 3-2 pitch, and Viking calls timeout, backs out of the box, umpire grants it. Full count pitch, and that ball hit out towards left field and just over the infield's head, and Hodgson picks it up, gets it into Mesh at second, keeps Viking to a single.
A batter in the lineup, shortstop number 22, Joel Ramirez.
Joel Ramirez to the plate. Boy, it'd be nice if we could get a double play right here. Got a courtesy runner for the pitcher, Viking, Jackson Belt, courtesy runner to first base.
Courtesy runner at first base is number 30, Jackson Belt.
Joel Ramirez at the plate. 1 out in the inning. And that ball popped up, and it's going to go out of play. Odell ahead in the count. No balls and a strike. Odell gets assigned from Klein, lead off by Belt at first, 3-step lead. Odell pitch to the plate, and the pitch is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Joel Ramirez, the junior shortstop. University with a 4-1 lead over your Brush Bee Diggers. Brush 1 run, 4 hits. University 4 runs, 6 hits. Pitch from Odell to the plate, just outside. 2 balls and a strike. B&B Appliance, with over 30 years of experience, B&B Appliance can help match the appliances to your needs. Stop by 502 Ensign Street in Fort Morgan. 3-step lead at the first, the pitch. Ball outside. 3 balls and a strike. Odell wears number 2 on his back. Pitch low and inside. Ball 4. So Ramirez down to first base. That's first base on ball that Percy has given up. Isaac Dellinger comes to the plate. He had a triple his last at bat. So runners at first and second, 1 out. Dellinger at the plate. Odell on the hill for the Beet Diggers. Pitch, and that ball popped up and safe, and we got the force out at third. So a fielder's choice. Both Odell and Klein, they could have collided heads, but they didn't, as the ball was popped up between the 2 of them. The ball landed on the ground. Odell picked it up and throws to Gillick at first for the fielder's choice. So just a soft little pop-up, and then we go pitcher to third base, and the runner is forced out, and that runner is safe second and safe at first. So runner still at first and second for the Bulldogs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2 outs, top of the order, 2 for 2 on the day. Caden Turk, strike. Umpire called a strike at the knees. Turk looked back at the umpire like, you got to be kidding me. If I was the umpire, I'd call the next pitch a strike 2. Odell ahead in the count, no balls and a strike. runners at first and second. University no runs here in the fourth inning. Pitch on the outside corner, a strike belt high. So Caden Turk, 2 for 2 on the day with 2 singles, but down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Percy Odell, the sign from Klein. Runners at first and second, and they're off, and we got a throw down, and Jillick tags them out on the caught stealing. So Caden Turk will lead off the bottom of the fifth inning, but on that, Percy Odell gets strikeout. Well, no, that's not a strikeout. That's a caught stealing. So for University, no runs, 1 hit. No Brush Beet Digger errors. There were 2 runners, one runner left on base. So after 4 complete innings of play, University 4, Brush 1. You're listening to Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Kevin Fergus with you today, bringing you Brush Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Rose Condis, sound engineer, back at the station. University with a 4-1 lead over your Brush Beet Diggers. Eli Klein comes to the plate here in the top of the 5th inning. Did I mention game time temperature went down a degree? So we're down to 73 degrees. Cloud cover's thickened up. Doesn't look like there's any rain, but yet there's clouds that do have dark bottoms to them. Pitch to Klein, a strike. Gage Viken, number 2 for the Bulldogs. Percy Odell, pitcher for the Beet Diggers, number 2. Pitch to Klein, a strike. So Gage Viken ahead in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Viken with 6 strikeouts on the day. And pitch is a ball to Klein. University 4 runs, 6 hits. Brush 1 run, 4 hits. The pitch swung at and missed, strike 3. 1 out. Top of the 5th inning. Landon Mesh to the plate. 2 for 2 on the day. Landon Mesh came into the day with 17 hits. Now he has 19. And his .425 average has gone up. The pitch from Viken. And that ball fouled at the plate. I think that came off of the thigh of the catcher, Max Davis. As it popped up, Davis had to just stretch everything out. The 0-1 pitch, and that ball swung at and missed by Mesh. Gage Viken for the Bulldogs. Ball hit to second base, and Mesh gets down the line. 4-3 on the putout. For Gage Viken, that's pitch number 60. And out of 60 pitches, 41 strikes. So 4-3 on the putout on the soft grounder. So the ball went out to second base, and Caden Turk was able to flip it over to Medardo Abrego for the second out. Ben Metlin to the plate. Pitch from Gage Viken, a strike outside corner, belt high. Viken changing speeds. The 0-1 pitch, and that ball fouled out of play. Viken ahead in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Pitch to the plate, and that one all the way to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ben Metlin. Ben had a sacrifice fly as Landon Mesh doubled in the first inning. And ball hit out to center field, and Mesh was able to move up on the sacrifice fly from second to third. 0 for 1 on the day. The ball hit out to Viken. Fields his position well over to first base. 1-3 on the put out. 1-2-3 inning for the Bulldogs. Beat Diggers go down. No runs, no hits, no Bulldog errors, and nobody left on base. So after 4.5 innings of play, University 4, Brush 1. You're listening to Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. To the bottom of the 5th inning we go. We have pitching change for the Brush Beat Diggers here in the bottom of the inning. Trey Romero comes on for the Beat Diggers to the hill, and that just changes everything up. Keaton Gillick over to first base, Percy Odell to shortstop, Ben Metlin to third. So we'll run through the defensive lineup for the Beat Diggers. Hodgson in left, Teal in center, Krob, Jimenez in right. So let's change that up. I didn't make that change earlier. And then Ben Metlin at third, Percy Odell at short, Landon Mesh at second, Gillick at first, Klein behind the plate, and Trey Romero on the hill. Trey Romero steps in, 6.46 ERA, 8 2/3 innings. And that ball hit out to center field. Teal comes in and to his right, makes the catch for the first out.
Center field by Malachi Teal. Next batter, designated hitter number 26.
Brody Duran comes to the plate, but Trey Romero, 6.46 ERA, 8 2/3 innings. Trey has walked 14 and struck out 13.
New pitcher for the Beat Diggers is number 10, Trey Romero.
Brody Duran, 0 for 1 on the day. He reached base on the catcher's interference in the first inning. Pitched to Duran, a strike. Trey Romero, lefty. Sign from Eli Klein, the pitch in the dirt. Count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike. One out in the inning. Caden Turk was 2 for 2, and he flew out to center field, 2 for 3 on the day. Brody Duran, 0 for 1 officially, and that pitch outside, 2 balls and a strike to number 26, Brody Duran. Freshman, designated hitter, and that pitch to the screen, 3 balls and a strike. Three balls, 1 strike to the number 2 hitter, Brody Duran. Pitch from Trey Romero, outside, ball 4. So Duran down to first base. Will Corby to the plate.
Third batter in the lineup for the Bulldogs.
Percy Odell in his 4 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts, 1 base on ball. Gave up the 4 runs. All earned. Corby steps in on the left side. Corby 2 for 2 on the day. Pitch, and that pitch is up and in. So Romero, the lefty, faces Corby, the lefty. Pitch, and that pitch, strike at the inside part of the plate, belt high. Count evens 1. Duran leads off at first, 2-step, 3-step lead, and to the plate, and that ball, wild pitch, Duran to second base.
Brody Duran makes his
2 balls and a strike to Will Corby, the center fielder. Corby pitched the other day against Fort Morgan. Had a no-hitter through 4 2/3. University had a 12-0 lead, and then Fort Morgan was able to get 3 hits in a row and scored 2 runs to bring the final score to 12-2, and University won in 5 innings by the 10-run rule. 2 balls and a strike to Will Corby. Duran leads off at second. The pitch, and that ball hit out towards Gillick, the first baseman, and that ball is thrown behind Romero as he was covering to the bag. So that's an error because that would have been an out. So we'll go error on the first baseman. So runners at first and third. Preston Natividad at the plate, 0 for 2 on the day. Lined out to the pitcher, Odell. And then Odell was able to get the ball over to first base as Corby was breaking towards second. So double play in the first inning. But Natividad 0 for 2 on the day. Pitch, plate, 1 out, and that pitch is a ball. Beautiful day for baseball in Greeley. Cloud cover. It's cooled things off somewhat. Romero, the pitch, and that pitch is outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Runners at first and third. University 4, Brush 1. University with 2 runs in the first, 2 runs in the third. Brush had a run in the top of the 4th. Here we are at bottom of the 5th, 1 out. Runners at first and third. Pitch upstairs. 3 balls, no strikes to Natividad, the third baseman. Three and 0, the pitch to the plate, and that ball in the dirt, ball 4. Bases loaded.
Ball 4 to Natividad.
Max Davis steps in.
1 out, bases loaded. Next Bulldogs hitter capture number 1, Max Davis.
Max Davis, 6 RBIs on the season. University's 13th game. This is their 14th game. So nowhere to put him, but Brush infield playing in on the grass, so they will cut the runner off at the plate, and that ball hits off of Davis's helmet for a hit by pitch. So Davis will trot down to first.
Davis shakes that one off.
He's okay. He's smiling. Brody Duran comes in and scores University's 5th run.
That brings in a run, touching home plate. Brody Duran.
So University 5 runs. And
first base number 33.
Robbie Avery comes in as a courtesy runner for the catcher. And Coach Tom Odell is going to go out and make a pitching change. Let's take a break. University 5, Brush 1. You're listening to Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush Beat Digger Baseball. We're back at University's field in Greeley, Colorado. Brush making a pitching change. They're playing the Jeopardy, Final Jeopardy song. But Brush has made the change. Keaton Gillick will come to the hill. Trey Romero will go back to first base. So Trey Romero responsible for the runner that's already crossed the plate, plus the 3 runners that are on the bases. So that would be Corby, Natividad, and Robbie Avery, the courtesy runner for Max Davis. So Medardo Abrego, who against Fort Morgan had a home run and a double, strike at the knees, outside corner to Abrego. And he also had a 2-run double, knocking in 3 on Monday. That pitch, low and outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Jillick on the hill for the Beet Diggers. University with a 5-1 lead over Brush at this point. Pitch in low and outside, 2 balls and a strike. University 2 runs in the first, 2 runs in the third, 1 here in the fifth, and that ball fell to the screen. Count evens at 2. See if Brush can get out of this. See if Jillick can get a strikeout and or a double play. Brush defense in on the grass with 1 out, and that ball hit up the center field, base hit, and 2 runs are going to score. And Keaton Jillick backed that up. Trey Romero on the relay gets the ball, throws it past Eli Klein. The runner, Medardo Abrego, moves up to second base on the throw, but single. 2 RBIs by Abrego. To third goes 1 runner, and to second on the throw. I'm going to undo that. Oh, why did I do that? Anyway, pitch is low and in to Gage Viken. And a base hit by Gage Viken. And 1 more run scores.
There's an RBI single for Viken. Avery touches home for University. Next Bulldogs hitter, number 22, Joel Ramirez.
So Gage Viken has the courtesy runner, Jackson Belt, in for him. So runners at first and third. University with an 8-1 lead as they've scored 4 runs here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Courtesy runner in at first base is number 30, Jackson Belt.
Joel Ramirez to the plate. 1 out in the inning. The pitch, strike outside corner. I think the umpire is going to like Keaton Jillick. Keaton likes to live on that outside corner, and his ball has late movement. University 4 runs on 3 hits here in the inning. 2 brush errors. Runner takes second on the pitch, a strike. Belt to second. Defensive indifference on that. So runners at second and third. Joel Ramirez at the plate. Eli Klein out to talk to Keaton Jillick. Brush trailing 8-1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Jillick, the sign from Klein, sets up on the inside half of the plate. The pitch, and that ball low and in the dirt. Check swing, but base umpire says no to the strike, so the ball is in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Joel Ramirez. University 4 runs, 3 hits. Couple errors this inning for the Beet Diggers. Pitch, Jillick to the plate. Low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runners at second and third. Abrego at third. Jackson Belt at second. Pitch to the plate, and that ball popped out to right field. Caleb Jimenez over to his left, squeezes it. Abrego tags at third, and that ball thrown in. So we got the sacrifice fly. Sacrifice fly to right field. Abrego scores. And the runner at third moves to second, moves to third. So University with 5 runs in the inning, 3 hits. Isaac Dellinger to the plate. Pitch swung at by Dellinger, strike 1. Jillick, the sign from Klein. Pitch swung at and missed. Strike 2. 2 outs in the inning. University with 5 runs in the inning. They've scored 2 in the first, 2 in the third, 5 in the fifth. That pitch just outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jillick with the pitch on its way, fouled back into the screen. Close ball game. 4-1 going into this inning. University's opened it up a little bit. 9-1. Bottom of 5. Jillick, the offering. Strike 3. Nice pitch by Keaton Jillick. University scores 5 runs on 3 hits. Nobody on base. They leave, and there were 2 brush errors. So after 5 complete innings of play, University 9, Brush 1. You're listening to Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Close ball game through 4.5 innings, but University scores 5 in the bottom of the 5th to give them a 9-1 lead. Gage Viken still on the hill for the University Bulldogs. Percy Odell comes to the plate. Percy pitched the first 4 innings. Trey Romero started the 5th inning. Keaton Jillick finished the inning as all the runners that Romero was responsible for came around and scored. So he was responsible for the 5 runs. But there was a couple errors in there, so there's going to be some unearned runs as well. We'll sort that out when we do post-game. Percy Odell steps into the plate, 0 for 2 on the day. Pitch from Viken, swung at and missed by Odell. No balls, 1 strike. To the senior shortstop for the Beat Diggers, and that pitch, strike, inside corner. Odell turns in and away from that pitch, and it still catches the inside part of the plate, belt high. Anyway, no balls, 2 strikes, and that ball fouled out of play. Viken, here we are, 6th inning, 67 pitches. 47 strikes, good percentage. Strikes to balls, the pitch, curveball, strike 3. Strikeout number 7 for Gage Viken is that pitch, curveball, and it just caught the outside corner at the knees. Bat was still on Percy's shoulder. Trey Romero comes to the plate. 0 for 1 on the day. He took first base via the hit by pitch, his last at bat. Swings at the first pitch, foul tip at the plate. No balls and a strike to Trey Romero. The offering, Viking, curveball, strike at the knees. No balls, 2 strikes. Viking, this simple, 70 pitches, 50 strikes, 20 balls. The 0-2, outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the first baseman, Trey Romero. Number 10 on his back. And that ball from Romero hit out to left field to Dellinger. Dellinger over to his right towards the foul line and squeezes it for the out.
By Isaac Dellinger. Out number 2.
2 outs in the inning. Caleb Jimenez to the plate. Right fielder, number 11 on his back.
Number 11, Caleb Jimenez.
2 outs in the inning. Strike 1 to Jimenez. Pitch from Viking. That ball popped up mile high. It's going to be in playable territory in foul ground. Bargo comes over and makes the catch in foul ground. So Brush goes down 1-2-3. So for the Beet Diggers, no runs, no hits, no Bulldog errors, and no runners left on base. After 5.5 innings of play, University 9, Brush 1. You're listening to Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Brush trailing the University Bulldogs 9-1. They've turned the lights on here at the field in University. The wind is still out of the northeast at this time, but they've turned the lights on, and just because the cloud cover, it just seems like it just keeps getting thicker and thicker, but no rain, and it doesn't look like there's any rain around whatsoever.
Leadoff hitter and second base, number 9,
Caden Turk, 2 for 3 on the day, steps in. He's the leadoff hitter for the Bulldogs. And the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Number 9 on his back, 2 for 3 on the day. Keaton Gillick on the hill for the Beet Diggers. University 9 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Brush 1 run, 4 hits, 2 errors. Pitch to Turk, strike at the knees. Gillick steps off the back of the rubber. Back on. Sign from Klein. The pitch. Outside ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Caden Turk. The offering from Gillick to the plate. Pitches upstairs, 2 balls and a strike. Seems like nobody's in too big of a hurry today. Gillick with the pitch, the offering. Curveball took a little bit off, but ball number 3. 3 balls and a strike. Western Engineering Consultants. Since 2003, they've been providing big firm product with small firm relationships. Visit westerneci.com for more. Eli Klein out to talk to his pitcher, just making sure they're not crossing signals up. Wiggins Electric. Count on Wiggins Electric for your quick, efficient, and courteous service to keep you up and running. They provide you with the service and the products that you need at your most critical time. The 3-1 pitch on its way, ball 4. Brody Duran will step in.
Caden Turk Next hitter, designated hitter number 26.
We're at that point in the game where University's 2 runs away from being able to close this one out. We'll see what Brush does. If they can throw up good defense, Gillick can throw some strikes, Brush can play some defense, get out of this, and perhaps get back and score a few more runs in order to get a little bit closer in this ball game. Turk at first, that ball fouled to the screen. Gillick ahead in the count to the freshman Brody Duran, designated hitter for the Bulldogs. No balls and a strike. 3.5 step lead for Caden Turk. You wouldn't think with a 8-run lead that he would steal. He's not. Pitch, a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike. Gillick just making sure that Turk stays close. He's not going anywhere, and that ball fell to the screen. So Gillick ahead in the count. No balls, or 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sarah Boone, Farm Insurance. Sarah Boone with Farm Insurance, Farm Bureau Insurance, here to help. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. Gillick peers in, gets a sign from Eli Klein. 3-step lead at first, and that ball fouled to the screen. 25 pitches for Gillick. Sure, Coach Tom Model didn't want to use Keaton too deep into this, but nonetheless, Brush needed to get out of that 5th inning as University scored 5 runs. Pickoff attempt over to first base, back in safely. The 1-2 and pickoff over to first. Turk back safely. The 1-2. Keaton steps off the back. Like I said, I don't think University would do anything with an 8-run lead, but you just never know. Maybe Casey Miller wants to get this game over with here in the 6th inning. The pitch. Oh, boy, that pitch was very, very close. 2 balls, 2 strikes. If the umpire was being consistent, I think that would have been a strike because, you know, I'm watching this and he's been right there calling that pitch a strike all day, and that pitch he called a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that ball hit out towards Landon Mesh and off his glove and into center field. Base hit. And Turk to third. Duran to first.
Brody safe at first.
Hard hit grounder up the middle. Mesh had to lay out for it, but he just couldn't quite get it. And enough that Turk was able to motor around to third base. So nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Will Corby steps to the plate. Runners at first and third, no outs. Brush trails University 9-1. University within 2 runs of being able to 10-run the Beat Diggers. University 10-run to Fort Morgan on Monday, 12-2. The pitch to the plate, and that ball out of play. Fouled out of play. No balls and a strike. Hodson in left, Teal in center, Jimenez in right. Gillick, the pitch to the plate. Ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Metlin at third, Percy Odell at shortstop, Landon Mesh at second, Trey Romero at first. Behind the plate, Eli Klein, Keaton Gillick on the hill for the Beat Diggers. Pitch number 30 on its way. The offering, pitch, strike outside corner at the knees. And on the pitch, Brody Duran takes second on the defensive indifference. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners at second and third. University is set up in order to be able to put this game away. 10-run brush. No outs here in the 6th inning. Will Corby, the number 3 hitter, 2 for 3 on the day and reached via an error. So he's been on all 3 times. Pitch, Corby fouls it out of play. For Gillick, this would be like a bullpen session. But I'm sure Keaton wants to get out of here without giving up any runs. Corby hits from the left side, calls for time at the plate. Things are just slow go today. Sydney Regional Medical Center. Don't let an injury keep you out of the game. Learn more about Sydney Regional Medical Center at sydneyrmc.com.
Corby heads to first base, loads the bases. Bases loaded.
So a hit by pitch.
Cleanup hitter at third base.
So Corby down to first. Preston Natividad at third at the plate with runners at all the bases. Turk at third, Duran at second, Corby at first. Natividad 0 for 2 on the day. He walked his last time, though. Pitch upstairs, ball 1. Gillick, the sign from Klein, the pitch. Upstairs, ball 2. Bases loaded. University Bulldogs with a 9-1 lead. Two runs in the first, 2 runs in the third, 5 in the 5th. And the bases loaded, hit by pitch. Run in, run number 10.
Heads to first. That brings in a run for University. Touching home plate. Caden Turk. Brings up next University hitter.
Keaton Gillick.
Number 1.
Eli Klein talking.
Davis.
University with a 10-1 lead. They scored 1 run on 1 hit in the inning. The rest either hit by pitch or base on balls. Pitch from Gillick, strike outside corner. Belt high to Max Davis. Max Davis 0 for 2 on the day. Pitch, and that ball fouled at the plate. No balls, 2 strikes. Keaton Gillick, 37 pitches. The 0-2 to Max Davis. Pitch, curveball, strike 3. Batter's out for the first out in the inning.
Out number 1.
Bat stayed on his shoulder. Everybody stays right where they are.
Now batting first base number 33.
Medardo Abrego to the plate. He blew the game open the other day against Fort Morgan when he had the 2-run double. On a hit and run. The ball went all the way to left field fence, and he scored runners from first and second, and they came all the way around and scored. Swings at the first pitch, strike one. Keaton Gillick, the sign from the full windup. The pitch, strike on the outside corner. Gillick ahead in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Gillick, the pitch to Abrego. Upstairs, ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're just under 2 hours old on the game. Coming up to the top of the hour. Keaton Gillick, the pitch. And that ball fouled out down the first baseline. Keaton Gillick on the hill for your Brush Beat Diggers. University with a 10-1 lead. Bottom of the 6th inning, bases loaded, 1 out. That pitch is upstairs, and Klein throws the ball into left field, and that's the ball game. University wins the ball game 11-1 over your Brush Beat Diggers on the air on the throw by Klein as the runner had a big lead at third, and Klein tried to get him out and threw it over Ben Metlin's head into left field, and University ends up with the 10-run rule win over your Brush Beat Diggers. So we'll take a short break. We'll come back with the post-game show, but University 11, Brush 1. You're listening to Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush Beat Diggers lose to the University Bulldogs in Greeley at University's field 11-1 by the 10-run rule. Gage Viken for the University Bulldogs gets the 6 innings pitched and 74 pitches, 53 strikes, 21 balls. And he gave up the 1 run, which was earned. Gage Viken struck out 8 and gave up the 4 hits to the Beat Diggers and had 1 base on ball. So Gage Viken was the Bulldogs player that really dominated the game. And then for University, hitting-wise, at the top of the order, Caden Turk was 2 for 3 and scored 3 times. Brody Duran 1 for 2 and scored 3 times. Will Corby 2 for 3 and scored a run, but Corby had 2 RBIs. And Medardo Abrego was 1 for 3, scored 1, and had 2 RBIs. And then the other hitters, Gage Viken 2 for 3, and Isaac Dellinger 1 for 3 on the day. For your Brush Beat Diggers, 3 pitchers on the day. Percy Odell went 4 innings, 78 pitches, gave up 4 runs, and they were all earned. 3 strikeouts and 6 hits he gave up, and 2 base on balls. Trey Romero, in the third of an inning that he pitched, 15 pitches, gave up 4 runs, and 3 of those were earned. And Keaton Gillick pitched the 1 inning before the game was 10-run rule, and in his 1 inning, 42 pitches, and he gave up 3 runs, 2 of which were earned. For the Beat Diggers, batting-wise, Landon Mesh started the game with a double and also had a single. And the other hits for Brush, Malachi Teal was 1 for 2 with the RBI that scored Trey Romero. and Caleb Jimenez also had a base hit. So Brush, not much to speak of. University, 11 runs, 9 hits, no errors, and they leave 5 runners on base. For Brush, 1 run on 4 hits, 3 errors, and they leave 4 runners on base. And this is the post-game show. It's brought to you by Advanced Agri Solutions. Water is the key to your crops' success. Advanced Agri Solutions has year-round and seasonal probes that will help make sure that you have the right amount of water. Call Roxy McCormick at 970-571-2024. University, they moved to 11-3 on the season, 3-1 in league. And for University, they play Eaton up at Eaton on Friday, and then next Tuesday they play Sterling here at University Field. And then they have Prospect Ridge on the 28th and Valley on the 30th. For the Beet Diggers, they fall to 7-5 on the season, and they are 3-2 in league. And Brush next week they play at Lions on Tuesday, and there'll be no radio for that game. And then on Thursday, Brush plays Weld Central, and that's a home game. That'll be on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. And then Brush also plays on Saturday, and they play the number 1 team out of 1A, which is Haxton, and that would be on Saturday the 26th. Just double checking my schedule. Friday on B106, Fort Morgan plays Platte Valley. That's pending the weather, and that game will be at 4 o'clock on B106. Next Tuesday on B106, Fort Morgan goes to Weld Central, and that game will be at 4 o'clock on B106. And then next Thursday, as I mentioned, Weld Central at Brush, and that game is on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. So, for Brush, they lose 11-1. The sound engineer and producer of Brush Beet Digger Baseball is Rose Condis. I'm Kevin Fergus with the final score, University 11, Brush 1. You've been listening to Brush Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.